Hey everybody, this is Roslyn. Hope you guys are all doing very well. So today I want to talk about how to build confidence. I'm not gonna go, with the intention of like helping as far as public speaking or even getting in front of a camera or any of that. I want to talk about like what I believe to be like the number one thing you should do, okay, in order to build confidence is, why do you lack self-confidence in the first place? Like, what is it? We can chalk it up to being an extrovert or introvert. I mean, we could, but I think there's more to it, because there are people who are extroverted who don't really have self-confidence either, right? It's just their personality. They can, get away with it easier than some introverts can. So I really think it has to do with some kind of trauma, like something that happened to you. More likely in your childhood, I'm gonna say. I mean, if you're older, if you're in your 30s or 40s, and even older than that, and you're still insecure about yourself, and you're still lacking confidence, and you lack self-value, like, you definitely have some issues from the past that you haven't dealt with. And that's common for so many of us. So no, I'm not saying it's wrong or anything like that. My goal is to try to help you really face it, like face what it is. Because I myself have also gone through the process. And now that I've begun to really move forward from a lot of past things, I feel like I can really help other people figure this out for themselves. Because, I mean, we are going into a whole new, chapter / book, depending on how old you are in your life. So it's like, the time is now. Like, if you can really heal and release and let things go, if you could really like start to have your dreams come true. Okay, so the first thing, I believe, that's the key to discovering why you still question yourself. It's gonna be, what happened? What happened in your past? Like, who was it? Was it a parent? Was it a friend? Was it a boy or a girl? Was it a teacher, that inflicted some kind of pain or some kind of seed that, started making you question yourself and who you are and your worth? Like, for me, it definitely stems from family, from my parents and things that they did. And there were even things that I remember vividly from when I was a very young child that I kind of chalked up to like, oh, okay, that happened, let's move on. But recently it came up again. Recently I had a situation like with, like a parent that left, right? And chose to take like my older sibling, but not myself or my younger siblings. And I remember that. It's like, I remember feeling the hurt and the pain, like, why did you choose him and not us? And I was freaking, I don't know, 5, and I remember it. And I was just thinking, like, I wonder if that still really bothers me. And the thing is, maybe it's not that one thing, but that could have been like a seed that was planted. And then from there, like, an array of other things happened to where, I lacked that self-worth and that confidence, or that I wasn't good enough. And then I think about, I've had friends who have made me feel that way. I'm like, I remember a really good friend, like a boy liked me, didn't like her, and then she like, I've always had kind of like skin issues, and she like pointed it out, like, why do you like her? She has, pimples or whatever. That hurt, because she was a really good friend. I had another friend who stopped talking to me once I told her that I am bi, right? She didn't understand and she stopped talking to me. So that was pretty painful. And I've also had, boys like make comments, right? You know, how boys pick on you, jerk faces. But, and then, just a number of things. And it kind of just like through your childhood, all these little things, they make you feel so small, right? Like as an adult. And sometimes you don't even realize it. You forget, like you just go about your day because, life gets busy, as you get older and there's more responsibilities and there's more bills, and you don't really take the time to like really think about how these people made you feel, right? And how it could have possibly affected you into adulthood. But you get to a point where it's like, why do I keep making the same mistakes over and over? Why do I keep going to the same cycles over and over? Right? You have to get to a point where it's like, okay, enough is enough. Like you really want to change. And the thing is, we can all change. Any one of us can change. I mean, habits are hard to break. That's why it takes constant practice, constant like 12th house stuff, right? Where you're constantly going within and constantly trying to dig up the past and fix it so you can be the best version of yourself. Okay, so that's number one. Who or what happened to make you feel that way? Like, this is not like an overnight kind of thing. This is like a process. And I'm going to say it's a perfect time to really look back at your life, because with all the energies right now, we have Mars in Cancer, Neptune, Saturn in Pisces. We have South Node in Scorpio. There's a lot of intense like water emotions. These are like very like watery, like emotional signs. And South Node in Scorpio, hey, hidden things. It's a great time for you to like really just meditate and set your intention to where like you want these things to come up because you're tired of them, and you want to let go and move on. I'm telling you, it's a great time to do it right now. Okay, and once you discover what happened, like who was it or what was it, like can you confront these people, right? If it's a situation, I mean, some situations like you can't, like it happened, let's say, I don't know, let's say you went to a party, had too much to drink, maybe you posted some stuff online that you shouldn't have, and then, it becomes like this big old ordeal, and it really messes with your confidence, especially for younger kids, right? Like, a lot of younger kids and the things that they have to deal with now, because you have the internet and everyone has a phone, and young people, we do some dumb things when we're young, and it's like, it can really mess you up. But there are just some things where it's like, you can't change because it was like just an incident and it just snowballed. You just have to move on. Like, you made a mistake, forgive yourself and move on. As far as if it's a person, like, can you confront any of these people? I mean, maybe not childhood friends, because who knows where they are now. How about if it's your parent, or somebody that you still can contact? It's something to think about. Like, maybe you should. Like, sometimes people don't even know what they've done, right? Like, they're so oblivious and they need you to tell them. Like, for example, with my mom, like, I finally was able to like really express myself, and it wouldn't have happened if her and I weren't forced to live together. So I think the universe was like, you know what? You're not dealing with this. You're ignoring it. Like, we had a major fallout, didn't speak for a couple of years, and then like she had to move in with me. I was very resistant, didn't want it to happen, but her being my mother, like, I don't have a choice. But I think what it was the universe telling me, like, you need to deal with this. You need to let it out and tell her how you feel. You need to let this go, because it was like a really, really like something that weighed on me heavily, like our relationship. It was so like love, hate, so just very unhealthy at times. So sometimes you're forced to, right? So I guess, you know, in hindsight, looking back, like the whole situation was for me to evolve. I don't know if it helped her any. I hope it did. But at least, I mean, I got to say what I had to say, and she apologized, which is a big thing, right? Because, you know, like most Asian cultures, your parents are not going to apologize for anything. Like, hell, that doesn't really happen. So if you can confront whoever hurt you, it would be a good idea too, especially when it comes to like a parent and child relationship. Like our parents really, like some of us have really gone through it with our parents, and our parents are a lot of the karma that, you know, we carry throughout our life, you know, is with them. So if you can, I suggest that you do. But if you can't, there are other ways, right? Whether you need to talk to someone, therapy, talk it out, right? And if you don't want to do therapy, you know, you can do like rituals, you know, like if you're into the whole, you know, full moon, you know, new moon kind of thing, if you're into astrology, spiritual practices, like there are ways where you can like really let it go, like really cleanse and release so you can fully heal. But I think that is number one. Number one is what happened. You got to figure out what happened. If you want to like build your confidence and you want to like have this just like just assured, like just to be really like just self-assured with yourself and confident and just, you know, like have this aura about you, right? And not like hunch over and be soft-spoken and like don't express yourself and behave like a sheep, then I suggest that you really, you know, get down and really do the dirty freaking work that it's going to require. It's messy. But that's the only way you're going to move forward, is if you actually do the work. And we can talk about past life regression too. I have never done one just because I feel like I have so much in my present life that I still have to work through. Where it's like, why add in past life stuff? But it could help, right? If you got a good handle of what has happened in your life now and the present, you know, this life, and then and it's still like not working, you still have some residual issues, like, and you just don't know why. I mean, past life regressions would be a good idea, something else to do to help you really like move on from everything that's happened. But yeah, so that is my advice to build confidence. And I really feel like that's the number one thing. That's the first thing you need to do, is figure out who hurt you, what happened, and how you can confront them or not, or find alternative ways to be able to let go and heal. Until then, I will see you guys on the next video, and we're more likely going to talk about the eclipse that's coming up, right? It's going to be probably an intense one. Like, I posted like a video before this that was really short, like about how emotional I was feeling and frustrated. Like, it's been rough, and I know a lot of people have been going through it as well, like feeling really just, oh my god. And I can't wait for this fucking eclipse to just happen. Let's go. This eclipse in Scorpio. Let's like let go or release, like good riddance. Let's move the fuck on with our lives. Even though we'll have more eclipses, but I don't know if they'll be as intense as this one, you know, because, you know, the Scorpio energy, you know, that's some real dark, heavy shit that you have to deal with. Okay? Well, till next time, you guys, take care, and I wish you much strength and love, and always, I wish you the best. And even though times get so dark, like, you will get through it. You have the strength and you will get through it. Like, I am with you, and there's so many others that are with you as well. You're never alone. Just because we're not there sitting with you doesn't mean that you're alone. Like, we are all collectively here and going through things and wishing each other the best. Okay, I love you. Talk to you real soon. Bye. Okay, so I did want to add one more thing, okay, as far as lack of self-confidence. It doesn't always have to come off like you're quiet, you're shy, you're not outspoken. It can also come out in like a Mars kind of way, right? Like where you're short-tempered, or you're defensive and you're angry and you're aggressive. I mean, that's also like could have to do with the lack of self-confidence, right? Because you don't feel good about yourself, and you lack that confidence and that self-worth, and you're insecure, so you decide that you're going to behave that way as kind of like a self-protection mechanism, right? People who lash out, normally have some issues internally. That's why they lash out and they're so defensive. So that's another way, that lack of self-confidence can come out. Not just, the quiet, soft-spoken way of being a doormat. You could be a total freaking asshole. Self-confidence, there's some insecurity issues there when you behave that way too. Okay?